Well, it has been a while since I had a fiery reaction video here. So I went looking, and of course I saw a pair of jugs here. So ding-a-ling-ding, we found a winner. This one here, the lady goes on. 10 lies women tell men every day. Now, are they true? Well, let's take a listen. Old Juggy McGee.
Here are the 10 most common lies women tell men every single day. Number 1, I'm just not ready for a relationship right now. Translation, I'm not ready for a relationship with you. When she actually meets the guy she wants, she will clear her schedule. She will move cities and introduce him to mom in 72 hours. If she's confused about you, I'm sorry, but you were never the prize.
Now that one, of course, you can agree with. It's only the little weak-minded men who think, oh, okay, she's not ready yet, I'll keep following along. But really, if you have ever experienced that with a woman, you know exactly what she is talking about is true. They will volunteer time slots. If they're not that interested, well, maybe I might have something opening. If they feel something toward you, that's the little spreading eagles. Spread eagles for that. That's making yourself available. Available. Okay, you see? Get that action, little hint there? So if it is difficult to schedule with a woman, move on.
Number 2, I want a nice, good guy. No, biggest lie in modern dating. Nice equals spineless in her world. She wants the guy who can say no, who has boundaries, and who isn't terrified of upsetting her. That's why the she cries about still gets her wet, while the nice guy gets friend-zoned into oblivion. Number 3, he's just a friend. Sorry, no, there's no such thing as platonic male best friends who aren't secretly in love with her. He is an orbiter, a backup plan, a vulture circling ahead. Men don't invest time, attention, and emotional labor into women they aren't trying to sleep with. So
all of these so far, I believe, have fallen into the same category here. The orbiter, the nice guy, the waiting for the schedule clear. It's all the same archetype fellow here being taken advantage of because he is too weak-minded. You see? He knows what he wants, but rather than state it and face the consequence one way or another, he would rather just stay in there and hope something changes for the better. And that is such an awful place to be there.
Never ignore the friend. Number 4, money doesn't matter to me. It matters more than she will ever admit. She doesn't need you to be filthy rich, but she needs you to be resourceful. Women are hardwired to choose the man who can protect and provide for her. So stay broke and watch how that fast love turns into, I need space.
Now, of course, many women are with broke men or ones who are not that wealthy because they can have other traits that make up for it. The bad boy, the excitement, whatever it is, but long term. The real problem, I think, arises here. Not that you have no money, because you can certainly attract them without it. Initially, you can hold them for something. But if you initially got them from your resources and they grow to like that, or you put them on a little path where they get accustomed to a certain lifestyle, and then that is taken away, whether you lose your job or put on some money troubles, whatever it might be, then you see she's thinking, well, I thought this was part of the deal here, which is why finance is money. That sort of thing is, from all the research I have seen on it, the number 1 criteria for divorce. The number 1 reason. Now, they may not always say that because it doesn't sound quite so good to mention that. Say, oh, honey, I know you lost your job. I still love you, but see ya, loser. Doesn't quite sound as good. So a lot of times it helps and you craft up another story about them being bad to you, or he was made eyes with the waitress, or some other kind of shenanigans you can throw out there just for optics of the mind. Just for optics.
Number 5, I've only slept with 4 guys. Take whatever number she gives you and add 5 to 10 minimum. That math never adds up because the truth will make her feel judged. High mileage usually means higher chaos. Number 6.
Now that you have to accept that you will never know concretely, unless you probably put them in a test tube and raise them for years yourself. You're never going to find out exactly what the number is, so you just have to observe other details, other things that may be a sign of it, of a high number or a low number. And not even necessarily the number, although that can be a great indicator. You need to observe the traits, how they act, how they behave under stress, under pressure, how they respond to other men. If you are dating them and they are a bit more bubbly, receptive to other men, just as a sign of respect and things, you would imagine that sort of conduct would naturally die down. So if they are continuing to, given that sort of behavior, you might want to check again, boys.
6. My past doesn't matter. I've evolved.
Same.
I've changed. Your past is the best predictor of your future. If her history is a dumpster fire of cheating, drama, and broken men, guess who's getting burned next? You are, my friend. People don't change unless the pain of staying the same is worse than the pain of growth. Number 7.
Now that, statistically, mind you, you could say the same thing about ex-con. They've been to prison, they come out. Are they more likely to commit crimes again than someone who has never done any? So you say, they could be reformed, they could be. But, or like a dog that's bitten somebody before and they get a new owner. There's always that in the back of the mind thinking, well, shoot, is this person? That goes for men and women on there. There's always this idea that if they've done it before, it's easier to do again. So I'm not going to disagree with too many of these here. I'm not going to paint it across the entire board here now saying it is impossible to come back from. But we all know the odds are not in your favor.
Oh, I didn't see her texts. I'm sorry. She lives on that phone like it's an oxygen tank. She saw it. She ignored it. Number 8.
Again, goes for both sides. Unless maybe you got some construction woman worker. She's out there hammering asphalt for 8 hours a day, doesn't get a phone out. Same thing with men on it. If somebody likes you, notice right there, they get you. I don't put this as a sexist, gendered thing here at all, because it's simply all around.
I want a guy who's vulnerable and cries with me. She wants a man who's strong enough to hold space when she cries. She doesn't want you sobbing on her shoulder at 2 a.m. because your feelings got hurt. Number 9.
Those are so weird, yeah, when you see that mentioned on videos and forums and that sort of thing. And which man comes on there and agrees with it? Is it the strong, masculine figure? No, it's all those little wimps, the ones who fit into the first, 1, 4, 2, 3, 4 points this lovely gal made here. They all fit into that same little simp category, if you will, where they are circling around hoping that by agreeing with the woman on everything she ever says, that'll somehow win her affections on it. A yes man. Yes ma'am. A yes ma'am. That's what they should be, not a yes man, a yes ma'am. That's what you wind up with here.
9. I don't know what I want. She knows exactly what the hell she wants. She just doesn't want you to know that you're not it. This is a test. Weak men chase clarity. Strong men walk away. And
now, how can they say this here? Say, she knows exactly what she wants, and all the other times say women have no idea what they want. Say they don't have a clue. You got to lead them. You got to tell them what they want. You got to tell them where to go. You got to tell them what to eat. They don't have any idea. Now, how can both of those be true here? Can they be?
And number 10, I'm not like the other girls, I promise. Every girl who says this is exactly like the rest, biologically wired to chase strength, status, and leadership. The second you believe her unicorn story is the second she loses respect. Stop listening to her words. Start watching her actions. Words are free. Behavior costs something. That's
Of course, pandered to the men here for these types of videos. I'm sure if we open up the commentary here, you will see exactly that. But, I mean, decent advice overall, I would say. Decent advice overall, but let's pry this open here. Comment here. I usually never do this on a first date. Lord, I don't Yes, if you hear that from a lovely lady, you know exactly what it means, boys. This is probably the third time tonight. Next one here. Weak men chase clarity, strong men leave. That's badass. That is a good point on there, because the weak fellow is always saying, what if I did this, I wonder if she... He's always going on about some weird nonsense when you already see the answer, you damn fool. Just get out of there. Get out of there. Every young guy needs to watch this. Male audience. Oh my God, she has given away all the secrets. Girls got to hate her, but she doesn't care. Well, that's because she's getting the male viewership here. I mean, out on display. Always a low cut in there. I'm not going to hate her for it. She get the algorithm in her favor. Go on, girl. But we see it. We see it. The lies work on honest men who project their own honesty onto women. Until he gets so broken that he's forced to update his worldview. Now, that actually is a very common theme you find with so-called players. Men who are regarded as womanizers, who are now classified as misogynists. They don't start out that way. Very rarely, very, very, very rarely do you ever see one start out in that fashion. They usually have a pure heart, romantic side, where they want to give, they want to provide, they go and write little love letters and notes and all sorts of things to the gal of their affection, and then boom, she burns them all down, and then like a villain arc being created here, that fellow no longer sees the women on a pedestal, some virtuous princess that he must protect and worship at every turn and every moment of the day. He now sees her for closer to what she should have been initially. Now they go a little overboard with it, perhaps, though it works for them because they start acting a certain way, and the women respond here. They start getting more of them. They start getting attractants. And so when something works, you keep moving in that direction, and it builds over time. It doesn't start out that way, as these women like to attest. So I think that's enough rambling here for now. More of the day here. Go get your heart broken by some floozy and then turn into a badass. That's the only way to do it, boys. Grow yourself a little scandalous beard like this here. Get a few grays and whites for your maturity coming in. My God. If you could only be this handsome. Look at that. Look at that face. Anyway, until next time, boys and gals. Old Ghost Miss Pass here. Gonna go take a little break. I do think so.